It is a new era for Phoenix Rising FC, and this is the start tonight from Phoenix Rising Stadium at 38th Street in Washington. Here in Phoenix, we are ready for action as Phoenix Rising FC plays host to San Diego Loyal. The 2023 Phoenix Rising season is brought to you by Equality Health. With the former U.S. Women's National Teamer Casey White, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for being with us. And it's a new venue, it's a new site, and it's right in the heart of Phoenix. This is exciting for the club.
It's absolutely beautiful, and you know the players have to be so pumped to be playing at this facility. The fans are coming into the place. It's just going to be a great atmosphere for this matchup.
And they are expecting a sellout here tonight, and one of the players that is going to try to score that first goal in club history here at this venue, Fede Varela, his first home start.
And Varela, just such a critical piece to the possession style that Coach Juan Guerra has brought to this group. He's so important in build-up. This is his first season in the United States in the USL Championship. Certainly a player they're going to want to get on the ball here today.
And of course, on the other side, a very familiar name. He scored a couple of weeks ago for San Diego Loyal, Ronaldo Damas. He makes his first start tonight.
And this is a great pairing up top with Elliot Collier. He has so much speed and ability to get in behind back lines. Someone that can really create chances for himself and others.
And he will look to get back on the score sheet tonight for San Diego Loyal as they try to play spoiler tonight against Phoenix Rising. Of course, these two teams just met a couple of weeks ago, and it was a big 3-0 win for San Diego. They've won 3 straight in this series, but Phoenix Rising is at home, and they are hungry. Lineups and first kick coming up next.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana, enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Sanderson Ford gives back. They support local sports.
They support local businesses, restaurants, and music.
Y organizaciones en nuestra comunidad latina.
My favorite event is Operation Santa Claus.
And mine is the Cave Creek Rodeo.
I love participating in the Guardian Games with my son Evan for Special Olympics Arizona.
Your business has allowed Sanderson Charities to give back to all these local charities. We've been paying it forward for 68 years. Thank you.
Tonight's broadcast of Phoenix Rising FC is presented by Equality Health. Carvana will drive you happy. And by NAU Nationwide. It is going to be tonight here at Phoenix Rising Stadium, just about ready for first kick. Tonight's match is presented by Equality Health. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. And the teams are just about ready to go, but of course the starting 11, we will start with the home side in Phoenix Rising, and Juan Guerra puts out this 11 tonight.
And Phoenix Rising coming out in their typical 3-4-3 with Arteaga up top, pairing with Cuello and Varela. Those will be 3 players that have a lot of fluidity and will look to go forward and get services in the box to really start the attack for Phoenix.
So So that is the 11 for Phoenix. Still battling a few injuries. We'll get into that in just a few. On the other side, though, for San Diego Loyal, of course, Damas starts up top.
And that pairing with Collier is so important. Collier is just such a technical player, really good vision. Looking to find Damas in behind will be critical. But Colin Martin in that center midfield spot, also really important to thwarting any attacks that would be coming from the Phoenix Rising.
So we are all set to go tonight for first kick. A historic night here for Phoenix Rising FC. Their first ever match here at 38th Street and Washington. Our referee tonight is Elton Garcia. There is the whistle, the first touch of the ball here at Phoenix Rising Stadium at 38th Street and Washington. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Already the second time this season that San Diego Loyal and Phoenix Rising are facing off. And of course, when these two teams faced off 2 weeks ago, it was a big win for San Diego Loyal. But for Sacramento, or pardon me, for San Diego, they played Sacramento last week, so they've had a game in between. Phoenix, they've had 2 weeks off, so they have been looking at San Diego for basically the last month as they get set for this game here tonight. 2 straight against Loyal. San Diego went on the road. They lost last week, but trying to get back on the right track.
And that's so interesting for Phoenix Rising because they've really been able to take those 2 weeks and focus on one team. And I'm sure they're chomping at the bit to get back out here, not only just to play a game, but to have another chance at San Diego.
And of course, this Phoenix team, when we were talking with Juan Garrett this week, but first our availability report presented by Spooner. And this has been part of the issue for the last few weeks for Phoenix is getting players healthy. Jose Hernandez, who was crucial in that first game against Charleston, he misses out here tonight as Collier tries to come forward. And they've just been trying to get players healthy, but Danny Trejo picked up a knock this week in training. So they're just trying to work with what they got. That's what Juan Garrett basically said it boils down to.
And that's really hard early in the season, but if you look at the flip side of it, it does get more players involved, more minutes early on, which can really help with the depth. Not only having the depth on your roster, but having the depth that has minutes early in the season, which can help as they go through the campaign.
And of course, this series between these two sides, early on at least in the series, it was Phoenix Rising that was fairly dominant, but overall in the series now, it's San Diego that has the advantage. 5 wins, 4 losses, and a draw. And is this already going to be an early yellow card as Colin Martin is down? There's a collision there right in the middle. Elton Garcia does have the yellow card in his hand. And you hope Martin is okay here. It looks like he ran right into Arteaga, who's now getting up. And it's Arteaga who will go into the book. And it might be a double yellow. Nope, he's going to put the card back in his pocket. So just a yellow card there for Manuel Arteaga.
And this was how it happened. That just cleat very, very high going into the shoulder of Colin Martin. Just a reckless challenge coming there as he retreated back into the midfield third.
So Arteaga already having to walk that line here very early on. And of course, the series between these two sides, 5 wins, 4 losses, and a draw for San Diego. And they have won 3 straight in this series. In the last 2 games, 3-0 wins, both in San Diego. So Phoenix is no doubt chomping at the bit, as you mentioned, and trying to get back at this San Diego team as Martin will put this back into play.
Yellow card is set to Phoenix Rising number 9, Manuel Arteaga.
Here is Kyle Adams, who was recently with New Zealand and their national team during the international break last week, missing that game against Sacramento. And Nate Miller, when he talked to us this week, said that was part of the issue, is we basically had to change our entire back line. So many changes, whether it be injury, international duty. And I guess it's a good problem to have when you have players going on international duty.
Yeah, I think they'll take that.
Absolutely.
It means they're performing well.
And last week he thought the performance, he said, was fine against Sacramento. He just said the one moment on the set piece, they switch off and they get punished for it. As Bodley comes forward again, looking to curl this in. Collier now trying to win this off of Kevin Lambert, who will just have to clear this away. And right now it is Phoenix that is pinned in the early going. Good ball in by Martin. It takes a deflection out of play. And it looks like this will be the first corner of the match coming for San Diego Loyal.
And you mentioned Phoenix being pinned in, and a lot of that has to do with Colin Martin stepping into that space, really to win the ball early on and then play that initial ball in.
And one of the big offseason acquisitions, not only for San Diego, but in this entire league, Joe Corona. He'll stand over this corner kick. Couldn't get it past the first man. Varela just able to get this out of harm's way. Now Nick Moon. Corona again has Collier out wide. And he's using him on the back heel here. Here's Collier. Big 6'4" striker. Collier. Touchdown to play by Uzo. And again, it is going to be a San Diego corner kick. 2023 Phoenix Rising season is brought to you by Equality Health. Another in-swinger, more depth on this one. Comes all the way to the backside, battling for it there at the post. It was Rios Novo just trying to find some real estate there with Colin Martin. It's another corner kick for Loyal. So far in the early going, this has been all San Diego.
And it's just been really hard because they're not able to clear the ball, whether it's in the run of possession. This one to the back post and just putting a little bit of pressure there was Martin, but Rios Novo does really well just to make sure there's no mistake to get San Diego on the board early.
Another corner kick here. Damas up for it and just wide. Rios Novo able to watch that fly by his post, but Damas not the tallest guy, and he still got up for it.
Well, his timing was really great on that run. He has to go away. It's an outswinging ball, so it's hard to get a lot of power on this, but to be honest, he did quite well and almost wrong-footed Rios Novo, but it was a great opportunity for the Loyal.
He was leaning back as well. Good effort there by Damas, and there's much more where that came from for Ronaldo Damas. What a season it was in 2021, scoring 18 goals with Orange County en route to winning the USL Championship final against the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and made his debut for San Diego a few weeks back when these two teams met at Torero Stadium. I'm trying to loft this forward, and maybe a way out here for Phoenix, but again, it's Guido who steps in. Guido trying to get this out wide. Collier will keep this in play. Elliot Collier with options. Collier will go for it himself. Went for the curler, and he just put it wide.
And so much of what San Diego has been doing, is that pressing from the front. There's so much pressure, and I thought Phoenix did a good job kind of looking for that long ball, but the midfield able to win it, finding Collier, and look at how quick his release is there. He's trying to curl it to the back post, is not able to get around it.
Well, we asked Nate Miller this week about Elliot Collier, and I was like, so what do you make of your big bruising number 9 that you brought in? He's like, actually, he's really not a hold-up number 9. We wouldn't have brought him in if he was. He says he's very good technically, and he's very versatile as well, dropping in. And now the other number 9. Here is Manuel Arteaga going for it from distance. Firing this one well wide, but you have to like the ambitious effort there from Phoenix's number 9.
Well, two imposing figures for number 9s for
and
both of these teams.
Wearing those masks.
Exactly. That was well timed right there. But you're right. Both of those players can figure out how to obviously compete in the final third, but the technical ability, look at this strike from Arteaga. That looks like it narrowly missed to the back post.
No rotation on that ball either. It looks like the south end is full tonight. Of course, this new venue, Phoenix expecting one of its biggest crowds ever tonight. So much anticipation for moving back to really central Phoenix. Of course, Casino Arizona Field just down the road a little bit in the Tempe Scottsdale area, and then of course the last few years at Wild Horse Pass down south, but they're right back in the middle of things in Phoenix, and they are so happy to be at this venue. And is this going to be a foul? It looks like it is, just outside the area. And another set piece coming for San Diego Loyal. Joe Corona, Blake Bodley stand around it. Varela and Gabby Torres. Congratulations to Gabby and his wife, as he is now a father. That's why he missed out a couple weeks ago against San Diego Loyal, as his wife was giving birth. But now Torres back, and a crucial piece for this Phoenix side, especially with the players they are missing. Corona curls this one in. Heads go up. Adams will track it down at the back post. Martin lofting this in. And this will bounce towards the end line. Torres will usher it out of play for a goal kick.
And this is what set up that last set piece, was Elliot Collar getting in between the lines, facing forward. And the foul, pretty obvious right there, that set up the set piece. And the surface was pretty good on the set piece for San Diego, but I would love to see that left-footed ball curled in. That's just such a dangerous ball that could have been played in there that would have tested the keeper a bit more.
Lambert for Fuenmayor, who also missed 2 weeks ago rather, against San Diego Loyal due to injury, but he is back in the fold here tonight. A crunching challenge there on Damas. Another set piece upcoming here for San Diego. Phoenix just cannot get out of their own end right now.
And what's happening in those wide spaces, it's really a 3v3, and Phoenix playing short through there, but San Diego's doing really well to make sure that they can't face forward. It might be a time to look for a longer ball, but that's not really the identity that Phoenix plays with, so it's going to be difficult to play out of that pressure.
Well, Nate Miller talked about this is not the Phoenix of old, and he said the tactical battle now when these two teams face off is just so much different because they both play similar styles and they basically match their formations with 3-back. Oh, it's Corona and Bodley this time on the near side. This will favor Corona's in-swinger if that's what they so choose here. Guido standing in an offside position. It will be Corona on the in-swinger, and Rios Novo has to punch it away. Much more dangerous, to your point.
Yeah, that was a great ball right there. It was barely long enough to where they were able to get to the ball defensively.
Moon trying to get this centrally. Crutzen just about able to get this away. Guido slid into his own player, and now it's Phoenix off to the races. Carlos Harvey leads the break for Rising. It's still Harvey trying to move it along, and Corona did well to get back defensively. Now it's Colin Martin just trying to find some space down the far side, and Crutzen will usher it out for a throw-in.
Well, there's such a commitment to defend in midfield from San Diego, but when Phoenix is able to win that tackle, you can see their commitment to get numbers forward, and that was something that was huge for Coach Juan Guerra, just executing in that transition moment.
Uzo gets it right back. Lambert. Move it around. Fuenmayor and now Crutzen. Hear the planes just to our camera position right. Of course, this new venue basically right along the runway at Sky Harbor Airport. On the turn, it's Cuejo. Harvey. Back for Cuejo. A long spell of possession here for Phoenix. Really their first long spell in this game. I felt like the start of this game was almost opposite to what we saw a couple weeks ago, where Phoenix was in so much possession. And now they're getting a chance to knock the ball around. Lambert trying to go for the long ball. It's Koke Vegas who will collect. Here's Colin Martin. No Charlie Adams tonight, no Adrian Perez. Another one of those big offseason signings. Perez coming over from DC United. Charlie Adams, who of course has been with this team since the very beginning, stalwart in midfield. And he's partnered with Colin Martin for quite some time, as Harvey commits another foul. He might be walking the line of a yellow card here soon.
You're right, and you talk about Charlie Adams. He had that great assist for the first goal against Phoenix 2 weeks ago. It was a about that pressing from the front. He was able to win that ball in pressing and then played a great ball in for the first goal. So definitely someone in midfield that they'll miss his presence.
And Juan Guerra talked about transitions and how important those will be in this game. When you look at pretty much all 3 San Diego goals, it was pretty much coming off transition opportunities. And Phoenix, I know they were down a few midfielders and a few players, but he said we definitely have to clean that up.
And additionally, he liked the performance, across the 90 minutes, and he liked the possession and the generating opportunities. Perhaps more clinical in the final third could have been better. But you're right, it's the transition to defend and know what spaces are vital and what's being left open, and then how do they execute and transition off the attack, which is so interesting for 2 possession-oriented teams, but they need to be able to transition well when there is a loss of possession.
Now it's Uzo who gets this out wide. Uzo trying to get Enlund on Bodley. Bodley got the block in, but Phoenix has its first corner. And Uzo trying to urge on the south end.
And they really weathered a storm from San Diego the first 15 minutes or so. The last few, they've done better at establishing a little bit of possession higher up the field.
It's a Carvana corner kick. This one in towards the near post, looking for Arteaga. Now a chance here for San Diego to break. And it's Nick Moon who leads the charge. It's Damas to the far side. Zambrano coming over. And Zambrano does well just to put it out for a throw, and it's really all he could do. They did beat Damas to that. Already 4 shots in this game for San Diego, 1 of them on target. Already 3 corners. This will be a throw-in for Nick Moon. Adams. Here's Grant Stoneman. Nate Miller has talked so much about keeping a core of this team together, as it's been since they started in 2020. But then he said we were very specific this offseason on what we wanted to go out and get. A player like Ronaldo Damas, a player like Blake Bodley. They've gone out and done it. And now it's what can they put on the field as Collier gets this out wide. Service kind of chipped into the box. Guido just couldn't take it off his chest, and it's out of play.
And part of those acquisitions bringing into the team that you mentioned, it's about creating that competition for spots and playing time. And when you have that internally in a roster, that is huge, because it allows you to compete every single day and not know, okay, who's going to start, who's going to play, especially early on in the season. And it just allows players to be super hungry coming into the season.
That's what you want, especially this early. And you can try to experiment, find that best group.
And there's something to be said to finding form at some point as well. But like you said, it's early on, and seeing who is going to be able to get into form and what works, what partnerships and what units are really working for each franchise.
Well, Nate Miller said we finished second last year. The only place up is first. So he said we got to tighten the screws. Said defensively, that's where it all starts. We need to become an elite defensive team. So the goals are going to be there with the talent they have on the field, but can they lock it down at the back? And so far, so good. They've only allowed 1 goal in their first 3 games. Here's Bodley. Now it's Guido. And that 1 goal they allowed was against Sacramento Republic, who currently leads Louisville City 3-0. A bit of a surprising scoreline between 2 of the potential favorites in the USL Championship this year. It's Adams who commits the foul from behind.
And the goal that you mentioned that they did give up against Sac Republic was off a set piece. So within the run of play, haven't given up that goal yet. And a lot of it comes from the way they press when they lose the ball immediately. They're really suffocating and trying not to let anyone settle in possession. And Phoenix is a team that can possess very well, so you don't want to give them a lot of time.
Good Good defensive play there by Adams to head that back to Koke Vegas. Yeah, I was just about to say that. Trying to distribute through the middle. Fuenmayor stepping forward. Arteaga lays it off for Cuello. Cuello looking for an option. He tried to leave it there for Harvey. He recovers well. And now he's dispossessed. And Guido on the move. Right through the middle. Alejandro Guido. Guido, he puts it out wide. Well, he scored some famous goals in transition. Of course, the one last year in what was a wild game at Wild Horse Pass. And it's a moment to catch his breath here. You want card 4? Okay.
And there's a lot of space being found in that midfield, able to dribble, penetrate, just doesn't connect well on that shot. But you can see as Phoenix goes backwards, there's that space created in front of the back line.
Phoenix Children's is expanding across the valley so we can all grow healthier together. Learn more at phoenixchildrens.org. This is almost given away. Varela recovered well. I haven't really called his name a whole lot so far in this one, and that is a player they need to get on the ball more and more. You look at the bench tonight for the first time. Erickson Gallardo is named there. As Varela tries to slip this in. Flag stays down. Arteaga wide. It looked like the timing was perfect there from Phoenix. But Arteaga could not find the frame of goal, their best chance so far.
And there's just that space in front of the back line that the Varela is able to find, then able to slip that ball. And it's that first touch that just lets Arteaga down just a little bit behind him, has to slow down and just never gets his hips squared up again to get that on frame.
You can see Varela and Arteaga talking there and saying, hey, you'll get it next time. Harvey trying to pump him up as well. It looks like there is a stoppage here and a player down. That is Alejandro Guido, so maybe he wasn't catching his breath on the other end, and maybe he needs some assistance here.
And that might explain a little bit of why there was so much space there for this shot that Arteaga takes and just gets his hips around it too wide there. But with Guido perhaps not being able to recover, Colin Martin was a little bit lower into the back line of the three, and it just allowed that space for Varela to get on the ball and play make like he does.
Phoenix can get Varela on the ball more, and they can create opportunities like that. Those are the types of balls that he is going to provide for that front line. As Guido, the captain, makes his way off here. We'll see if he's able to continue on. Go back to last year's game at Wild Horse Pass. San Diego scoring the first 2 goals of the game. And then it was Phoenix who came back with some magic of their own. Luis Cejas part of that. And then it was Alejandro Guido. Before the smoke could go away from the south end, he had scored to give San Diego the lead, and they won the game 3-2. Advantage being played as Moon looks for that ball over the top, and Rios Novo, how about that coming off his line? Arteaga dropping in. Here's Cuello now. Cuello looking for space. Green shirts converging. He went down. The crowd wanted the foul, but no whistle. That should be a foul, and I think the referee's going to play advantage here. Now he'll pull it back. It wasn't quite clear if he wanted to play advantage as Collier and Harvey exchange pleasantries.
I don't think Collier was quite sure either if it was an advantage call or not, because it was such an obvious foul, and really there were a lot of players still behind the ball, but nonetheless it'll come back for the free kick.
Where can you find premium seating with all-inclusive food and beverage? Phoenix Rising FC Stadium is the answer. From field seats, tables, and the premium terrace, it's the ultimate leave your wallet at home package. For more information, Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606. When you look at some of that seating along the field, some of the luxury boxes on the far side as well at the top of your screen. Some great ways to catch the action here at Phoenix Rising Stadium.
There you go.
Slipped in behind, too much on the pass. So it trickles out for a goal kick. Adams trying to get that into the middle. Damas does well to keep it moving. So does Collier. And it's Nick Moon running at Gabi Torres. Moon trying to leave it there for Collier, and he didn't make the connection he was looking for. Elijah Martin battling back into the play, and he'll keep it for San Diego.
There's a lot of patience from Phoenix Rising defensively. They get in that back five and just are allowing the space in front. So there's a little bit of impatience from San Diego Loyal. You almost get the feeling they might need to shoot from distance to pull someone out. So then the space behind is on in transition.
It's Corona again. Moon just trying to whip this in. Didn't get by Rios Novo. Trying to touch this around the corner. Too heavy on the touch, but the referee will bring this back for a foul. Varela trying to go quickly here.
Just a slight tug on the shirt. He almost got away with it there. Not quite.
I thought he was going to let it go on. The referee's been very
too.
nonchalant with his whistle, I think, tonight. But he has called the correct foul so far. For the first time this year, both these teams having to battle with midweek fixtures, and the US Open Cup it will be. Here's Emil Cuello trying to slalom his way forward. It's now Arteaga, and it's a corner kick coming for Phoenix Rising, quickly turning defense into attack. Cuello will stand over this corner kick for Phoenix. It's a Carvana corner kick. Cuello curling it in. Header is on and just wide. Arteaga and Lambert were in the area. Nearly the opening goal.
And this is an absolutely dangerous ball from Cuello coming right through. I believe it was Lambert that got the head on it, kind of off the back of his head a little bit there, not able to direct it on frame or to challenge Vegas, but that's a much more dangerous service from them.
Phoenix slowly building into this game. First goal in a game is always important, but it seems especially important in this one, just based on how these teams set up, how they like to play, and also I think from a mental standpoint of if San Diego scores the first goal, where does Phoenix go? That's 4 straight goals they've given up against San Diego. It would also be the 3rd straight game to start the season in which they've conceded first. I think getting that first goal for Phoenix would relieve quite a bit of pressure. Here's Guido. He's become a regular presence in these Phoenix-San Diego games.
And you can tell with the way that Phoenix is set up. You talk about the goal scoring, but they are set up really to make San Diego have to find ways through them because they're really pinching the inside channels to not allow space there. And they don't want to get caught in transition because that's really what hurt them in the last matchup 2 weeks ago. So you can tell they've made some changes to try to limit that transition piece.
So far, so good. As they trying to get out and transition themselves. Cuello just find some space and keep the ball. There's the long ball you were talking about. This one doesn't quite come off. Vegas. Both goalkeepers very good with their feet. Argentine Rios Novos, the Spaniard in Coque Vegas. From two very good footballing nations. Right at the half-hour mark here. Phoenix Rising Stadium, 38th Street and Washington. The new site for Phoenix Rising FC here in the Valley. Expecting a big crowd on hand here tonight. Still looking for something to cheer about, though. No goals through a half hour. Second time in 3 match days that these two teams are facing off. Phoenix trying to get back on the right side of things in this series. They've lost 3 straight to San Diego Loyal.
It's a bit interesting if you look at the matchup from 2 weeks ago and then today. Phoenix Rising really had a lot of the ball in the last matchup, and I would say, you know, today San Diego Loyal has. So it's kind of switched a little bit where they're almost conceding space, Phoenix Rising is, to San Diego Loyal, just to make sure that they don't get lulled into sleep and getting caught in that defensive transition. But what I've liked about them when they have gotten possession is they've looked to go forward a little bit quicker. That can just help them gain space a little higher up the field, even if it's not the perfect ball.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the possession piece, because Nate Miller was talking about when they've been at home, they've really never been on the back foot. He said that was a bit of an adjustment, but he thought his team adjusted very well. And now San Diego have another set piece here. Bodley will just knock it back into play.
Well, and that just shows the addition of like a Ronaldo Damas who can, you know, penetrate in behind and get those counterattacking goals. Collier was really critical with 2 of those assists in transition. So to be able to get a win and not necessarily be playing exactly how you want speaks a lot for your team.
They're trying to bring that on the road and try to play spoiler tonight here on a big night for Phoenix Rising. There's Colin Martin. Ronaldo Damas. Here's Adams. Guido trying to hop over a few challenges. Finds Collier in a wide position. He wants to cut it in. Collier slowed down there by Zambrano. Uzo. He was cut down. It's a free kick going Phoenix's way.
That was extremely clever by Uzo. The ball looked like it was going to be going out of bounds. He probably wasn't going to get to his touch, and you could just see him kind of move right in front to draw that foul. Small little movement, but very clever to help them keep possession.
The 24-year-old from Nigeria, his first season in the United States. Last few years in Finland, where he actually competed in Europa Conference League. Here comes San Diego again. Moon. That cross blocked down. Now it's Cuejo. And here's Kevin Lambert striding forward. Space to run into for Lambert. Teaga for Cuejo. It's Harvey, keeps it moving. Gabby Torres. And Stoneman is there to deny the service. Pre-game with Raising Cane's, proud supporter of Phoenix Rising. Skip the line and order our easy mobile app for your order of premium fresh hand-breaded chicken fingers, special sauce. And don't forget to add our fresh hand-squeezed lemonade at order.raisingcanes.com. Oh, great ball forward. Uzo, a great touch. The centering feed, and there's the finish. Manuel Arteaga scores the first goal at Phoenix Rising Stadium. And Phoenix get the first goal. It's 1-0.
And this is just such a great ball. It's almost like they lulled San Diego Loyal to sleep. Uzo, what a great first touch. Looks up, finds Arteaga just darting across the penalty area. That is just textbook all around. Play that ball in behind as the back line stepping. The way the ball was played across with pace, all Arteaga has to do is run through that into the back of the net. What a great goal.
And for Manuel Arteaga, he scores the first goal here at Phoenix Rising Stadium and 38th Street and Washington. This goal brought to you by Gateway Community College. That is also Arteaga's first goal in Phoenix Rising colors, and a hug for Juan Guerra as well. Now, the first time that Phoenix has also scored first in a match this year. That has to feel good for Juan Guerra and his team.
Well, and it's so interesting because it's such a juxtaposition of what happened in the last game to this game. They're sitting back, being really patient defensively. Go ahead, have the ball, move it around, San Diego Loyal, but just be aware we might have some counterattacking ability of our own. And it was very strategic, and it's worked out quite well here for Coach Juan Guerra.
And Uzo gets the assist on that as well. Now it's turned over in the middle. Zambrano. Find Gabby Torres. Phoenix will keep it again. So now where does San Diego go from here? They've been on the front foot, you have to say, for most of this first half. It was a great start from Loyal. Now they find themselves down 1-0.
But besides the first 12 minutes or so, it hasn't been anything extremely dangerous. The possession has been in the middle third. And what that does is it really makes it hard for Damas and Collier because they can't get in behind the back line because they're just dropping and absorbing space when they do dribble penetrate forward.
And on the Phoenix side, talk about service to San Diego's front two. Arteaga, he hasn't really gotten a ton of service in the first two games, but when he does get service, you see what happens.
And that's what you want from your 9. You just got to be ready when it does come across. Some of the best center forwards may not be involved so much in the run of play, but they're ready and they're locked in when an opportunity comes.
Crutzen taking off the ball. Martin trying to just feather that through, and the referee might bring this back. He will, as Martin's jersey was tugged there. And it's going to be a free kick upcoming for San Diego. Line of advantage has definitely been pushed here tonight. I think a few times.
It has.
I think that's what Juan Guerra is talking about.
And I can understand it on that one because even as he got pulled and he tried to play that long service, it was kind of a half effort because he was kind of falling backwards. But the ones prior and now adding up probably is not making Juan Guerra very happy.
Bodily again will run away. It's Corona again, flicked along, and Rio Snobo had that red all the way, bouncing out of play. 7. Dollar Beer Nights are back. Join Phoenix Rising on Wednesday, April 5th for the first Dollar Beer Night in Phoenix since the historic 2019 season. Rising takes on Greenville Triumph at 7:30 at 38th Street in Washington in its first match of the 2023 Open Cup. Tickets start at just 8 beers. Go to phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for more details. It is going to be a great night on Wednesday. And yeah, eight beers will get you in, Casey.
That's really nice, you know?
We'll have more of that at halftime as we'll fill you in on all the details of what is to come. John Harkes' Greenville Triumph from USL League One coming here to Phoenix. San Diego, on the other hand, they'll be at home against Albion San Diego, the team they faced last year and took down 2-1, but that was on the road, just across town, but still not at Torero Stadium. This is poked away. It's Guido. Moving out wide, it's Blake Bodily. The service into the middle, and Fuenmayor, look at that header. And then Rio Snowball's upended by Damas. But Fuenmayor somehow got his head on that initial cross.
That was really well defended because there were 5 runners in the box for the Loyal, and Bodily just bending it in behind the back line. Fuenmayor just had to get something on it to make sure that it didn't fall to one of the Loyal forwards.
Rios Novo took a heavy spill there.
And Damas just going up for the challenge, just falling on his left shoulder was Rios Novo. Hopefully he's okay and he'll be bouncing up from that. But, you know, the Loyal have really pushed forward these few minutes after the goal. So just taking a little bit of time right now just to be able to settle in, because Phoenix Rising certainly going to want to be rewarded going into halftime with a lead, and the Loyal are pushing.
Yeah, 5 minutes to go until the break. Right now, all the concern is on Marco Rios Novo. Guerra, coaching opportunity there with Fede Varela. Still Rios Novo down and being attended to here. Novo back to his feet. We'll get some more treatment at halftime in just a few minutes. Miller looking on here and figure out a way back into this game for his side. Can't say they performed poorly in this game, but when you look at the scoreboard, you find yourself down 1-0, you wonder what you can do a little bit better.
Well, I think one of those areas is the set piece service. The delivery hasn't been quite as good, and Coach Nate Miller talked about how he wanted that to be an extension of their build out. They build out really well, they keep possession, so they earn those set pieces and free kicks. But so far, the delivery really hasn't challenged Rios Novo in goal or the back line for Phoenix.
Here's Varela. Arteaga. Varela. Looked like he was cut down there, and his shot came in. It was saved by Vegas, and now Varela is down. The referee will stop play.
It's the last counter-attacking opportunity of Varela, just playing to Arteaga, playing it back, does get the shot off, and then it looked like one of the Loyal players, I think that was Colin Martin, came through the back of him, but it was after the shot, so I don't know if it really affected that much, besides that there was pressure there on him.
So Varela back on his feet, but I want to go back to your point about set pieces, because Nate Miller also talked about last year in attacking set pieces, said we were one of the best teams in the entire league in that category. They're trying to pick up where they left off on that.
And I think some of the services have gotten better as the half has gone on, but perhaps the organization of runs in the box and creating those second chance opportunities. I mean, there's just such fine margins with set pieces on scoring a goal or having it cleared. That's certainly something that I think they can bring in the second half, really to just complement the possession that they've earned so far.
For Vegas, he just has to go over the top here. Harvey. All the way back for Fuenmayor, and now Rios Novo. Bodily pulled down, and the referee going right to his pocket. It'll be Emil Cuello into the book.
Well, it doesn't really get much more obvious than this one, as Bodily does accelerate into that space. Cuello, just a professional foul. It doesn't want anything to happen in these last few minutes. Takes one there for the team and gets the yellow.
On the turn, it's Alejandro Guido. Just too much on the pass, looking for Collier. 2 options ahead of him with Damas as well. Couldn't pick out either of them.
Well, until San Diego Loyal shoots from distance, in my opinion, I would keep dropping like that because they're trying to find those spaces in behind. It just doesn't exist right now unless it's just pinpoint accurate. So a lot of times you have to really try something a little further out to draw out a center back, because it'll just create that half yard of space that might allow them to spring Damas or Collier up top.
Picked up in the middle by Collier. He's trying to move it out wide for Guido, and nothing doing there either for San Diego. Varela showing a bit of that skill, but couldn't complete the play. Martin looking for Guido, and out of play as we get into 4 minutes of stoppage time to close out this first half. I think the referee's going to bring this back, as the ball, I think, was still moving.
Officials indicated we'll have a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time added to the first half of play.
Zambrano trying to step through the middle. Closed down by Martin. Bodily. Referee says play on. And now it's Uzo. Uzo gets around one. Still Uzo trying to recreate that first goal. And it's going to be a corner kick coming, but Uzo has been electric down this right side.
And it was really combative in that midfield third, a lot of 1v1 defending opportunities, and then the tackle won there on this challenge by Uzo, and then just really great skill from him in a tight area, a little deception, but it's that second touch that helps him separate, get to the end line, and then get this corner kick for Phoenix Rising.
Here's Cuejo, another in-swinger, reaching for it. A few Phoenix players that couldn't get there, and Moon for an option out here. He'll do it all himself. Nick Moon now looking for the outlet ball. A foul here, and what is the decision? It is going to be a yellow card. I think he can thank his teammates who were just on the same plane as him, but Crutzen, I think, very lucky.
I think just close enough, having a teammate there that he may not have been the last defender, but it was close. This is a great ball from Moon, and oh, I don't know. Crutzen looked to be the last one there as Damas spun him and would have certainly had a lot of space in behind.
A really tight call, as here is camera, the widest angle we have, and it is really, really close.
That is a close one.
Phoenix may be lucky to have still 11 on the field, but it's a set piece opportunity now for San Diego. Corona, and for Stoneman, who chests it down, and Martin blasts that into the bleachers behind the goal. Cuejo battling for it. Guido comes away with it. Picked his head up right away. Thomas trying to win the second ball, but Fuenmayor sweeps it out. See how much longer the referee wants to take this. Corona. And that is it. First 45 minutes is come and gone. We're at this new venue for Phoenix Rising, And it is a first half that I think will be a favorable memory for Phoenix as they lead 1-0.
Yeah, I think it's good. The game plan went exactly how they wanted. Defend, be stingy, but then get a goal going forward. They did it off 2 passes, and they have the 1-0 lead.
It is Manuel Arteaga gets his first goal in Phoenix Rising colors as we have hit halftime here at Phoenix Rising Stadium at 38th Street and Washington. A good first 45 minutes for Juan Guerra and company, but you know that San Diego will have a response. Halftime here from Phoenix. It is Phoenix Rising 1, San Diego Loyal 0.
Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? How fast do you want to get there? At Gateway Community College, you can achieve a career that takes you places in less time and for less money. Opportunity is not just for the select few. Living better is for everyone. Let us help you discover your future.
Pacific Office Automation is the one source for all of your business technology. Copiers and printers, managed IT and cloud services, unified communications and telephones, security systems and cameras, complete conference room packages. You need to partner with a total office solutions provider that gets it. Pacific Office Automation, problem solved.
Hey, Rising fans, spring is in the air and Circle K has what you thirst for. Stay cool with our famous Polar Pop Cups that stay cold longer. Fill your cup with your favorite flavor or mix it up to create your own. Or try our freshly ground iced coffee starting at just $1.89. While you're here, mix and match any 2 roller grill items, just 2 for $4. Check out these hot deals and cool down at Circle K, America's thirst stop and proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising.
Quality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
It is halftime here from Phoenix Rising Stadium at 38th Street and Washington. Phoenix Rising leading San Diego by a 0-0, but it is a busy week upcoming for Phoenix Rising, as of course they will enter the Open Cup. And going back to last year, of course, a big win against New Mexico United, but it eventually came up a little bit short. But this year they'll be taking on Greenville Triumph. It'll be at 7:30 on Bleacher Report's YouTube page, but it should be another fun run through the cup. These teams want to do well and face MLS opposition.
This is such a fun time of year. So just to get this going, these players have got to be so excited about it. Just so many teams entering that have a really good chance to get results.
And of course, Greenville Triumph in USL League One. They have been one of the top teams since the very beginning, the 2020 winners. They will play their first game away from home in the Open Cup. Last year, they gave Charlotte FC all they could handle, and now John Harkes brings his side all the way across the country to try to take down this Phoenix Rising side, who they want to have some success in this competition.
I mean, that's the cool thing about the Open Cup. You just never know. You never know who's going to get the result, and that's what's so exciting about it. So it's going to be a great matchup to see them come across the country and play Phoenix.
And they did beat Oakland Roots last year, did Greenville Triumph, so we'll see what they can do here in 2023 as both these teams enter for the first time in this year's edition. So we'll see what we get, as of course San Diego will also play Albion San Diego in the Open Cup on Wednesday. So it is halftime here from Phoenix Rising Stadium, and in partnership with Northern Arizona University, Phoenix Rising is visiting 20 schools in the Valley this season to read to students and promote the importance of education. NAU and Phoenix Rising are providing each student with a backpack and a free ticket to an upcoming match. For more information on the Reading with Rising program and how to enter your school for a Phoenix Rising and NAU visit, go to phxrisingfc.com, and it is the focus of this year's Rising Recap.
We are at Tomahawk Elementary. We got to spend some time with the kids today, get to know them a little bit, and read them a book. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yes, 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 yes. She had vowed to come through for her players and their families, or to come apart trying. It was a great experience being with the kids today. They reminded me of when I was young.
Pateaba la pelota por encima de la cerca sin querer. I know we've all done that.
Yeah.
For me, there's a lot of emotion involved. I know when I was their age, in their grade, if something like this happened to me, it'd probably leave a good mark for years to come, the future to come, maybe even the rest of my life. So just kind of cool to get out and do something for the community.
Like the Phoenix Rising, NAU is committed to our community, and we would like to build stronger relationships, especially with our children. And we want to be able to provide access to education for all the students across Arizona. So a bilingual program like this will teach students that soccer players that they met today speak Spanish, they can read in Spanish. So promoting literacy in both languages is very important for us.
It was very cool and very awesome. I really liked the experience today, learning about their lives, their careers, and their achievements.
Pacific Office Automation is the one source for all of your business technology. Copiers and printers, managed IT and cloud services, unified communications and telephones, security systems and cameras, complete conference room packages. You need to partner with a total office solutions provider that gets it. Pacific Office Automation, problem solved.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
1 teaspoon of potassium iodide.
Checkaroo.
And then science. Oh, I think that's Carvana. Right, let's go.
Go.
Just in the amount.
Just in the amount.
Oh, let's do more. Do more, yeah. I can do more.
All in.
Yes, please. Super easy.
Whoa.
I know. I just bought a car from Carvana.
A lot can happen in a moment.
They're delivering it here.
Like finding your perfect mix of down and monthly payments.
ABS brakes.
Finance your next car with Carvana today.
Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? How fast do you want to get there? At Gateway Community College, you can achieve a career that takes you places in less time and for less money. Opportunity is not just for the select few. Living better is for everyone. Let us help you discover your future.
Halftime here from Phoenix, and it is 1-0 in favor of Phoenix Rising over San Diego Loyal. And looking at the scoreboard so far from some games, and I think that 3-0 on the bottom right stands out to me. What stands out to you?
Oh, I mean, that one is huge. I mean, Sacramento Republic coming off the win last week against San Diego Loyal, so that one's big as well. But Colorado Springs Switchback also getting another win and continuing to climb up the Western Conference with the 1-0 win over Loudoun.
Going all the way out east. Detroit City also losing at home, and defending champ San Antonio FC over Monterey Bay by a 1-0 just past halftime in that one. And what is to come next weekend? Well, there's some good matchups, and on Easter Sunday, it'll be Phoenix Rising heading east to take on Birmingham, and Sacramento San Antonio, another good one.
That's the one that I was really excited about seeing, especially with the form that they're both in. But you're right, the Birmingham Legion game with Phoenix Rising, especially if they can pull off a win today, that could become even more important.
Absolutely. And San Diego will be back at home next week, an afternoon start on Saturday against FC Tulsa. So plenty of good action, and of course news and notes from around the league. The US Open Cup is starting in the second round this week, as we mentioned. Jordan Farr, he just gets save of the week, seems like every week, and the USL Championship on ESPN coming May 13th, 7 Eastern, ESPN 2, Lou City and Miami FC, a playoff matchup from a few years ago. So we are getting set for the second half here from Phoenix. Rising lead at 1-0. Can they hold on and close it out? Second half is next.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana, enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Tonight's broadcast of Phoenix Rising FC is presented by Carvana, will drive you happy, by NAU Nationwide, and by Equality Health. A good look there at Tempe and right downtown near Arizona State University on a beautiful night here in Phoenix, Arizona. As we look back at the first half, starting off in the 6th minute, and this was when San Diego was really all over Phoenix.
They started so quickly, a lot of opportunities going forward, but able to make that save. But there were a lot of corner kicks coming in a row really early on, a lot of set piece opportunities and possession to the Loyal. Collier here just getting in line, coming inside, looks to find that back post, not able to curl it enough, but that's how the game would start, with the Loyal really dictating play early on.
And all of this happening in the opening 10 minutes in Phoenix. They'd even have a good opportunity. Arteaga, maybe an ambitious effort there, putting the shot wide. That was their first big chance. Then in the 21st minute, This is San Diego just trying to go in transition again.
And just looking for that shot from distance was Guido. There's a lot of space in that transition moment. Just looking to take it, not connecting well. Had 2 runs on both sides of him, but chooses to go for goal. And then look, there's the half space again for Phoenix as well. A great ball from Varela to Arteaga, but his first touch just lets him down, tries to go far post, gets his hips too far around this opportunity.
There's a good ball slipped in there by Varela. More of that to come, you'd hope, from Phoenix Rising as this season moves along. And then in the 35th minute, Phoenix would really start to get going here. And I'm not sure if he necessarily meant that, but that was a perfect first touch to set up the goal.
And Foy Mayor plays that long service across, Uzo taking it off the first touch. He does it right to the near post, but Arteaga just running right through it. And that's what you've got to do as a front runner, right through it, put pace on the ball as you go into the penalty area. Nothing the back line for San Diego could do.
Arteaga bags his first goal for Phoenix Rising. So the players back out on the field as we welcome you back. Phoenix Rising Stadium at 38th Street and Washington. With Casey White, I'm Josh Eastern. Glad to have you with us here. An opening night for Phoenix Rising on their new home field and in their new digs as we get this second half underway. Of course, what is on the line tonight? Phoenix still looking for that first win of the season. For San Diego Loyal, they're trying for their 3rd win of the season. They're also looking for their 4th straight win over Phoenix Rising. This is their first win streak in the series, and they are trying to keep the momentum going against Rising, but this is the last time these two teams will meet this season. So a long season ahead that these two teams won't see each other until potentially the playoffs, but we'll see when we get there. Now looking for the ball out wide. Great first touch there by Gabby Torres. Nick Moon on his back. And there's a foul on Moon. Free kick to Phoenix. Varela and Cuejo standing over this. John Harks will give you a call. Long delay here. Cuejo now will curl this in. Good whip on it. And Vegas had to touch that one away. Phoenix will keep it with Uzo. Long ball forward. There's Vegas again. And the quick distribution. Can Damas win this? He cannot.
Well, there's not a lot of opportunities for the Loyal to expose space behind the back line. So I like that idea from Vegas, just trying to see if they can spring him in some kind of counterattacking situation, because they're normally in possession, especially in this first half. So I think it's a good look from him to try to play forward quickly.
Just looking at the stats in this one, Phoenix with 5 shots, 2 of them on target. How about San Diego? 6 shots, but none of them have found the frame of goal.
And again, that's the opposite from the last game. They had 10 shots and 7 were on frame in the first matchup versus Phoenix. And so they were really clinical, really opportunistic, and that's really let them down here so far today.
And then you look at the possession, also opposite. It's about 56% in favor of San Diego Loyal. So basically take the last game and turn it on its head. It's basically what we have here today, but we'll see if Phoenix Rising can run away from San Diego like San Diego did to them just a few weeks back.
And I would expect to see more of what we saw in this first half, just because Phoenix did their job. They got the goal, so there's no reason to push. Now, if they get a second goal, they're sitting in a really good position, but I would expect the spaces to be really tight here in the second half for the Loyal.
Moon moves it out wide for Damas, who lifts the cross in and straight out. Going back a few minutes, that free kick forcing Vegas into an intervention.
And that one just was floating up there. It was almost like Vegas was going to come for it and then realize it was continuing to float, but he does exactly what he needs to do and just get it out of a danger area.
Now Rios Novo having to distribute out wide. And all the way back. Well, it's so interesting because both these teams want to be in possession, but I guess, how do you tell your players, like, let's not be in possession, let's let the other team possess because we want to go in transition?
Well, there's moments where it's very strategic to control the game without the ball, but, you know, Phoenix did have 2 weeks to prep for this game, and what they did in the first matchup didn't work. And so perhaps that was something that maybe we get a behind-the-scenes look at what they might have been working on, was allow them to possess, and that might be opposite of their normal game plan, but it's working really well at this point, and they had that time to prepare.
I understand there's ways to go about it, but as Damas intercepts this, it's Ronaldo Damas over the bar. A great chance for Damas there as he just picked the pocket of Fuenmayor and was off to the races.
And just a little bit casual here in the back, which is great, comfortable in possession, but just gets a toe in there, drives straight at the heart of the back line. Just enough recovery from Fuenmayor just to kind of put him off that finish there.
Well, that is something that San Diego, I'm sure, wants to continue to do. And here's that pressure again, and forcing a turnover. They'll have to continue to do that to try to get back in this game, but right now that service in the final third has really been letting them down. Arteaga hit the surface, but Phoenix able to win this back. Varela trying to spring free Torres. Moon looking for a way out here. Eventually the whistle will come. Just a bit too much there from Torres. Here's Crutzen now as Phoenix able to get that ball back. It was an early ball through, looking for the run of Cuejo. Adams has it covered. And it's Uzo who steps in again. What a shift he is putting in tonight for Phoenix Rising. And he will get a foul out of it as well.
And Uzo does really well there. Just that low center of gravity. It's hard to take the ball off of him. It's almost like it's stuck to his foot right now. His first touch was brilliant on the goal in the first half. And then there, does a really good job of just biding time and being able to keep that ball until they get a little over anxious, the Loyal, and then give up this set piece.
Cuejo, Varela standing around it. Here's the in-swinger. Couldn't get it by the first San Diego player. Zambrano for Varela. He turns. Harvey was waiting for it in plenty of space. Headed away by Adams. And play on, says the referee. Uzo, the last man back, got his head to it. And Phoenix will keep it with Rios Novo. Fuenmayor. Arteaga deemed to have committed the foul there. Going right through Stoneman. Arteaga never afraid to mix it up.
And these are the moments here when they do get possession in this middle third and in their attacking half. I think it's the speed of play for San Diego Loyal that has to be better, because Phoenix is comfortable sitting in that defensive shape. And if the ball doesn't move quickly, it's not going to make the defender shift quickly. Therefore, the spaces aren't going to open up. And I think if they can improve that as they go through the second half, there might be some fatigue that could set in, or some spaces that'll get a bit larger to try to get the equalizer.
San Diego hoping that it's not one goal that does them in again, like last week at Sacramento. And that goal, as we talked about in the first half, was their first goal they've conceded through the run of play. And just the second goal they've conceded this year. They started off with a 1-0 win against Detroit City and 3-0 against Phoenix before last week's loss at Sacramento. Vegas trying to pick out Moon, who heads it centrally. Appeal for handball, and this will go San Diego's way. So a free kick just outside the area. Danny Crutzen saying, what am I supposed to do?
Right, it really was just a bit of a quick reaction there, but he's already on the yellow card, so
true.
For his sake, you don't want that deemed that was on purpose. So, and I don't think anyone would argue that with how close it was and how much of a reaction it was.
Here it is again.
Vegas just plays that long ball and just stepping in, trying to win it. It just goes off his elbow as he turns his back there, and so not in the most natural position, so the handball was given.
Anytime you get it up near your shoulder, it's pretty much going to be whistled every time nowadays. So now it's Guido and Moon who stand around this. It's a 4-man wall, and Emil Cuello gets the opportunity to go on his backside here.
Well, this is a critical opportunity for the Loyal. The set pieces in the first half we talked about, they earn a lot of them, but can they put one away? And in games like this becomes critically important.
So, Guido is just about ready. Keeps moving the ball back. Trying to get a few extra
yardage.
room here. It's Alejandro Guido into the wall, and Phoenix are able to get this away. Slipped in behind Martin, and it's swept away for a corner. Right in front of the south end. Corona to deliver. It's headed on, and Rios Novo makes a big save. Collier was the one to put it on frame, and he thought it surely should have been 1-1.
And this ball's really good. It's driven. It's going just away enough from the defenders. There's an opportunity there between, was that Guido there that came across that front side? But yeah, it's just a quick reaction save there that keeps Phoenix up by 1.
And they'll do it again. It's Corona. More depth on this. It was Adams up for it. He's timed his jump there as that is out of play. Score your new career at Gateway Community College. With Gateway, you can achieve your dream career in less time and for less money. Get started at gatewaycc.edu. Fuenmayor going to get this ahead for Arteaga. And he'll move it out wide for Uzo, and space to work into. Has an overlap. Now it's Arteaga in the middle. Good work there by Colin Martin as this goes out of play. Arteaga's a handful up top to deal with.
He is. He started all of that counterattack himself by coming back, getting possession. And I think we're going to see more of those spaces open up because San Diego's going to have to push a little bit more forward. You can tell that they're still playing in possession, but getting a little impatient and playing longer balls, well, that's where Arteaga can pick it up and start that counterattack.
Foul there on Cuello. Another player who is on a yellow card, and as we reach the hour mark, start to get into the heads of both these managers, whether there'll be some changes upcoming. Could we see Erickson Gallardo for the first time in Phoenix Rising colors? But again, this one cut out of play. Plenty of options on the bench for San Diego Loyal. Tumi Moshobani, Evan Conway, who has scored in the last 3 meetings between these two. It does look like Tumi Moshobani is preparing to come on here in just a few. Run downhill, Blake Bodley, he has to cut it back. This is a foul against Phoenix, setting up another set piece opportunity for San Diego. They've had a lot of set pieces in this game and a lot from this sort of distance. And a substitution coming. It is the first of the match, and you wonder if this maybe goes back to what happened to Guido in the first half where he needed some assistance. It's going to be Tumi Moshobani that comes onto the field to replace Alejandro Guido. Joe Corona serves it in. It'll bounce once and right into the waiting arms of Rocco Rios Novo. So Tumi Moshobani comes on his 4th season with San Diego. Has played every year under Nate Miller going back to 2019.
Wow, we just read carbines.
Varela lofting it forward.
San Diego loyal substitution entering the match.
You can just tell by the line of confrontation from Phoenix where their forwards are setting up. They're allowing San Diego to come a little bit more forward. They want to keep the inside channel really hard to play through. That's something that Juan Guerra talked to us about. He wants to give the wide space up and not give anything centrally, and I think they've done a really good job of that throughout this game so far.
He says there's still so much learning to be done from this team because of the players in and out. He said during preseason they battled some injuries, getting players into the squad, but they never really had the same 11 in any of their preseason matches. So he says everything's kind of been on the fly. They battled some adversity. The training has been all over the valley just because of the change in venue coming up to Phoenix from Wild Horse Pass. So there's been a lot to deal with this group, and he says he's been proud of what they've been able to come through already early in this season. As Moon slips down there, and Phoenix looks to come back the other way. Cuello.
And even with all that adversity for Phoenix Rising, Coach Guerra talked about how he's happy with the performance and he didn't feel like the last result reflected that. We've touched a little bit on that. But it's got to be a good position to be in as a manager where you want the results. 3 points obviously are very important, but he said if we play like this, we're going to get more wins and ties than we're going to lose. So he's really happy about where they're at, even with some of the players that are in and out.
I hope to get some of those players back soon. Likes of Jose Hernandez, a great showing in that first game of the season against Charleston. A long switch of play, and this one does come off. Cuello. Emil Cuello trying to get the shot away. It's saved and put in! Manuel Arteaga scored a brace! His first 2 goals for Phoenix Rising on opening night, and they lead 2-0.
Everything about this is so good, and again, it comes from that long service. They're sitting back defensively, but they're picking good moments to switch the point of attack and get the long service into the wide space, and then this ball to Cuello. What I like about Cuello's run is he has a little bit of deception. He gets in the penalty area. All the advantage goes to him because they don't want to foul him, and the shot on frame forces a save, and Arteaga just does exactly what you want there. Right space, right time.
It was close as to whether he did stay on side. It looked like Stoneman, though, barely keeping him on.
Yeah, it did look like that, and Cuello just takes so much attention, and that's so hard as a back. You're watching the play develop in front of you, and forwards are just hoping that there's going to be some kind of rebound. Be opportunistic, be optimistic that it's going to bounce to you, and defenders tend to lose sight of where those runners are.
And he scored 5 goals last year, and he has already almost halfway to that total here tonight. And he actually only scored in 2 games last year. He scored a brace against Colorado Springs, scored a hat trick against Charleston. Phoenix Rising hoping maybe he can spread it out.
Right.
But he's been scoring in bunches a lot lately, it seems.
But it's good to get some early. Early on, you kind of get that monkey off the back. And you're like, okay, now I'm able to feel like I've already got my scoring going, and what more can come from him? Because he's not involved in the run of play quite as often, a little bit in the counter-attacking moments. But that's what you want out of your center forward, just really being in the penalty area and making sure he's on top of things.
It's Nick Moon who is down. Now another ball coming onto the field as San Diego was looking to even track down a ball initially. And Nate Miller not pleased about something here. And Elton Garcia is going to come over and give him a yellow card. I think he was displeased with how quickly he tried to track down a ball just to put it back in play. They couldn't find one. Phoenix trying to play out here, and this will go their way once again. 25 minutes to go, and this game well in their favor at the moment. Can they close the door here? Camden Riley and Evan Conway preparing to come on. Rios Novo. A bit of pressure there from Damas. Uzo trying to cut this back, he does. Now here comes the in-swinger. It's headed away. Varela. It's Torres. Gabby Torres. It's a corner kick for Phoenix. And they are really playing with their tails up now. And the South End urging them on.
And they're being really strategic with the way they're attacking. They're finding the opposite side wide spaces when the wingbacks for San Diego Loyal are getting forward.
You see some of those big crowds, all of those coming at Wild Horse Pass. And now we'll see what the official number is here tonight. They were expecting close to 10,000. We'll see what the official number is when it does come out. I'll play this short. Varela will get it back, and it's blocked out of play. And there will be 2 subs. It is Conway and Riley coming onto the field. It's Joe Corona. Joe Corona will be coming off the field. Looked like Elliot Collier as well.
San Diego Loyal substitutions. Entering the match number 9, Evan Conway. Conway replaces number 18, Elliot Collier.
Here's Arteaga. He's looking for his hat trick.
Riley replaces number 15, Joe Corona.
Now it's Harvey. On the line, Torres, early ball in. Picked up by Cuejo. Battling for it, he'll lose it. Oh, Shobani gets it out wide for Moon. Phoenix just flying around at the moment. They are playing with plenty of confidence. That's all right, we still got it.
Well, now what's happening is the Loyal are having to chase, and they're really having to push, and they have some fresh legs in there, but the more that happens, if Phoenix can stay composed, they're just going to be able to fatigue San Diego Loyal, and they're doing a really good job of it right now.
Of course, this is the home opener for Phoenix Rising here tonight. They are 4-1-1 all time in their home openers, and how about this? They've outscored opponents 21-8 in home opening matches, and that includes a big win just a few years ago when these two teams met up in Phoenix's home opener, and it was a 4-1 win for Phoenix April 30th, 2021 to open that season. And Nate Miller said, I think we're a few teams home openers. He's mentioned this one, New Mexico. He said maybe there's another few in there, but he says they like those atmospheres. They like playing with big crowds, but so far tonight just hasn't gone their way.
And it was interesting to hear about his approach. A lot of times when teams go on the road, they just try to, maintain for the first 15, 20 minutes and kind of realize they're on the road. He said, we want to play like we're the home team. And I'll be honest, they started that way. They started coming hard at Phoenix Rising, but Phoenix was able to weather the storm a little bit, and then they were able to take over from there.
Moving it out wide. Service blasted through. Moon won't get there. Doesn't say on my list. Oh, I did not. I missed that. Automation. Yeah, that's my bad. Okay. Correct. No. All the way back for Rios Novo. He'll keep it moving, and San Diego really going to have to up this pressure. There's Evan Conway, who just came on, of course. He's scored in the last 3 games against Phoenix. He scored his first USL Championship goal last year in the opening match against Phoenix. Arteaga getting tangled there with Elijah Martin.
And I think it would really help the Loyal if the wingbacks get a little bit higher. There's a lot of space wide, but really they're just not able to get pressure when Phoenix was building, and then not able to really generate an attack going forward. But really nothing to lose now. If they can get players a little bit higher, it might start to create some overloads in those wide areas.
Here comes San Diego now. Trying to make something of this and just trying to get on the board to give Phoenix something to think about in these final 18 or so minutes. Great ball in behind there by Colin Martin, trying to square it in front. It's tapped in. Nick Moon has pulled one back for San Diego. Just like that, Loyal are on the board, and we have a 1-goal game in Phoenix.
And that's huge. That's the 2v1 in that wide area on the far flank. A really good run, and that's the space that Phoenix Rising is willing to give up. And there was just some good play here. Colin Martin taking a little bit of space, and then what a well-timed ball in behind. Bodily playing it across. Nick Moon and Damas in the area. It looks eerily similar to the first Phoenix Rising goal, just on the opposite side. And now we really have a game on our hands.
It's his 3rd goal all time for San Diego. He scored twice last year in 28 appearances against Monterey Bay and Tampa Bay. And he's only scored on the road for San Diego, and he continues that here today. And there will be a substitution coming for Phoenix Rising, and this will be a debut as well. Fede Varela will be the one coming off, and it will be a Phoenix Rising debut for Erickson Gallardo. He's battled some injuries to start this season, but he comes on. A Venezuelan who last year played with Zamora, but previous to that spent 3 years in Toronto with TFC and also a few games with TFC2. 3 caps with Venezuela, and a big-time talent coming onto the field here for Phoenix, and a player that they want to get healthy and get into this lineup because he can be very dynamic. That is the first sub of the match for Phoenix. They're also just trying to get some players back healthy, the likes of Danny Trejo, Niall Dunn. Darnell King not in the lineup tonight either. Doesn't make the bench. Jose Hernandez is still out. They have some crucial pieces still not up to full fitness. You can see this team, when they can put it all together, good things happen, but they got to close this one down. And that's a foul on Renzo Zambrano.
And the game really starting to open up in midfield, and I think that's to the advantage of the Loyal. Phoenix probably needs to find that defensive shape again with it coming down to the last 15 minutes where they have 8 players behind the ball, sometimes 9 at times, where it's really hard to break down.
This game now, the last game standing in the USL Championship to close out this Saturday night. Bevy of games finishing up out west. These Oakland Roots took down New Mexico United by a goal to nil. Monterey Bay losing 2-1 at home to San Antonio. And Sacramento 5-0 over Louisville City. You don't see that too often. That is 2 straight clean sheets for Sacramento Republic going back to last week as well. We do some cards, don't we? Card 10. Damas coming from behind. Moshobani just about able to keep it. And there's a whistle and a foul. Moon could not keep this one in play. Nate Miller still trying to urge his team on. Now they've gotten a goal. They only need one to salvage something out of this game here tonight. I'm sure if you're Nate Miller at this point, you'd probably be very happy to steal 2 from Phoenix and take a point home.
Yeah, especially with the way it's happened with a 2-goal disadvantage, and just being able to come back would be huge for them. And I think it's really just about getting more numbers forward to join Damas and Conway up top, just to get people more around the penalty area. That's going to be something that they need to do, and they're starting to get their wing backs a little bit higher up.
Poked away, and Phoenix could be on the move here. Just sending this into space. Elijah Martin is on the case. Martin under some pressure again. And Vegas just has to get it away. It's a throw-in going Phoenix's way. And Elijah Martin is down. The best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership. And a chance for basically a pseudo timeout here for both teams as they check on Martin. When it comes to a sports injury, the unknown can be unsettling, but there's one thing that can calm that uncertainty. It's an answer. Mayo Clinic uncovers answers every day through exploration, teamwork, and innovation. Answers that can lead to more answers and define a path forward. So if you're looking for answers related to a sports injury, you know where to go. Learn more at sportsmedicine.mayoclinic.org. Looks like ready to continue on here. That's the man that has gotten San Diego back into this game. Now Gallardo, driven ball forward, headed clear. It's Colin Martin again. Go back to that goal, give him a hockey assist. It was a great ball that set it all up.
And Phoenix is definitely looking for that ball to the opposite side. It's done really well for them so far, but the Loyal adjusting well, and it's needless turnovers for Phoenix, which is allowing the Loyal to get higher up the field.
The wave is starting to move around Phoenix Rising Stadium. And here comes Damas. Damas is in. It's saved. Still in front. Saved again. How about a third chance? It is. Is it in?
Oh,
What's
man.
the decision? It's in. San Diego scores. Somehow it sneaks over the line. And we are level at 2.
Oh, I can't believe it. If you're Rios Novo, how many saves, and that one just trickles across. But numbers in the box. Damas getting in right here. Look at that spin right there. Fuenmayor just too aggressive, trying to win the ball. Just needs to stand him up. First save there, trickles across. Another save. We're getting in each other's way there as San Diego Loyal, but somehow it goes across the line.
It's going to be interesting to see who gets credit for that goal, whether it's an own goal. Damas, I think, had the last shot there. There was so many bodies in there, but it is Eddie Manjoma who has come onto the field now for Phoenix with 10 minutes to go, replacing Gabi Torres. And all of a sudden, this game is level at 2, and where do we go from here? I give so much credit to San Diego for battling back into this. Does Phoenix have a response? This is out. It's a corner kick. And this is the exact opposite as to what happened last year at Wild Horse Pass. It was San Diego that went up 2-0. Tonight it was Phoenix that went up 2-0. But remember, the team that went up 2-0 ended up winning the game in the end 3-2. That was San Diego last year. Phoenix, I guess, hoping that happens to them this year. Cuejo, the in-swinger, the heads go up, it's down, saved twice! What a sequence as this is out of play again, it's another corner. I think Carlos Harvey is asking for a penalty. He'll be given a yellow card instead.
And you literally almost predicted the future here on this one. What a header from Harvey, and he's probably got a little frustration on all this. He had the initial challenge. Again, another challenge here. What a great clearance there. Bravery coming through on that one, but they'll get another corner kick, another chance here for Phoenix Rising.
And the crowd really getting into it now. It's a Carvana corner kick. Under 10 minutes to go, and this game is all square at 2. What a way to end this Saturday night in the USL Championship. Cuejo. Lambert got his head to it, headed back centrally, and San Diego will get this away. Yeah, I don't know who they're going to give it to. Do you know what Opta said? That's wrong. Played forward again, over everybody's head, and out of play.
And that goal has really changed just the tempo and the feel of this game. Phoenix really just trying to see out the game. Now it's gotten a little bit frantic from both sides. And now I'm sure San Diego really feeling like they could maybe execute and get another goal and try to steal this one.
And they come back from 2-0 down on the road. Spoil the party here in Phoenix. Bodily serves it in. Conway was up for it. He couldn't get on it. Now it's Gallardo. Is there some magic here? He's brought down. Elijah Martin will go into the book. Have to say, I think that's probably a smart foul.
I agree with you on that one. I mean, there's so much space when they're committing numbers forward like that in the penalty area. You'd rather that happen than have them running at your back line.
Having done now quite a few of these Phoenix-San Diego games, this is on brand. I mean, these games
Why expect anything else, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, every single time there is back and forth. I mean, the last few games have not gone Phoenix's way, but aside from those two, these are always back and forth games. Gallardo trying to win this off of Moon. It's Erickson Gallardo. What's the decision here? Play on. And now the foul will go against Arteaga.
And that was a great recovery from Nick Moon. I mean, it takes a lot of guts to take that tackle once Gallardo got inside. But Arteaga already on a card and just has to be careful there.
San Diego trying to play through the lines, and now they find space, and Mo Shabani can turn right through the middle, but his outlet ball is intercepted. Manjoma couldn't keep it, though. Here's Colin Martin. This has got to be a grandstand finish coming. 6 minutes and whatever we get in stoppage time. Here's Colin Martin going all the way back to Coque Vegas, and San Diego, I think, just trying to slow things down, catch their breath. What a frantic few minutes this has been. Change it back to Thomas. Long over the top. Rios Novo's there. Big collision. And it's pushed away for now. Now it's Evan Conway. Trying to get this in. Manjoma gets it out. Again, touched out wide. Conway for Camden Riley. Colin Martin. Tumi Moshobani. And he puts it out of play. Player read. A near miss there, but Rising's next regular season match here at 38th Street in Washington is Show Your Colors Night versus Monterey Bay on April 15th. Come celebrate the world's game and the 13 countries represented on Phoenix's roster. Show your colors at this worldly celebration of cultures. As single game tickets start at $25 at phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for more information. Bodily just sliding in again and pushing it out for a throw-in. 4 minutes to go. Those goals for San Diego coming 8 minutes apart. Moon and Damas. And Damas has now scored in both games against Phoenix. Now it's a free kick for Rising.
And as it should, that goal really changed the whole feel of the game. But what I like about both teams, they're both really going for it. No one's settling in and going, hey, we want this tie. They're going, okay, how can we find separation and how can we create an opportunity to try to get 3 points out of this?
This is the 11th match between these two. There's only been one draw. So both these teams, they're always guns a-blazing against each other. This one curled in. Trying to win the second ball, it's Crutzen. It was blocked down, it's still not completely cleared. Gallardo up for it, Moshobani tries to get it away. Only as far as Uzo, who just beats Damas to it. There's another switch of play. Lambert down for Manjoma. Trying to roll it centrally and off the mark. And maybe San Diego could be out here, but Harvey stepped in. Gallardo. Looking for that space in behind. Gallardo, was he fouled? Colin Martin. It looks like that should be a foul, but no, referee says play on. He said all ball. He's letting them play. Cuejo now. Cuejo thinking about it. Cuejo! He thought long and hard. He said, you know what, I'll take it on. And he wasn't far away.
Well, I think he didn't think they would keep dropping, but they just kept kind of holding the line. Why not take that opportunity right in front there? And just taking his time, going laterally across and continuing to drop was San Diego loyal, and it was a good opportunity off his left foot.
And it's his favored left foot, and boy, that was not far away. Phoenix preparing another substitution. It's going to be Jackson Conway coming on at the next possible moment. And the referee keeps his whistle in his pocket. Crutzen couldn't keep it. It's Moshobani running downhill. Damas through the middle, options ahead, slips it in, it's Nick Moon! Oh, he couldn't get the shot away. Now it's Conway. Lifts it up to the back post, too far for Bodily. San Diego had a great chance there. Now this one's intercepted. A frantic finish tonight in Phoenix. And this will be a Phoenix throw. And a substitution coming. It is Jackson Conway coming on for Manuel Arteaga. Brace on the night for Arteaga. And here is that second goal.
And this was great from him, just finding a little bit of space there when Cuello takes that shot, hoping it comes to him. It does, and he puts it away with authority.
So a good night for Arteaga. They thought his 2 goals could stand up as a winning goal as Damas is brought down here. Fuenmayor getting himself in some trouble, and a yellow card issued.
Well, Damas was able to get past him on the last one. So the ball got past him and Damas, which was not a good situation for the equalizer, this time choosing to commit the foul. San Diego Loyal hasn't really been able to be super dangerous on their delivery of set pieces. So this would be very timely if they could get a good one here for them, but Phoenix will definitely want to defend this one well.
Remember, Nate Miller said that his team was so good on set pieces last year in an attacking sense. Now can they get it right here at the end? It's Blake Bodley who stands over this. Maybe one of the last big opportunities for San Diego tonight. Bodley, plenty of air underneath this. Stoneman back into the middle. Is this a chance for Phoenix to break? Conway taken off the ball and right back through the middle. San Diego's gonna keep this. It's Evan Conway. Still Conway. Rios Novo in no man's land. Now he'll retreat. Here comes the service again. Thomas was waiting for it. Moshobani for Elijah Martin. There's 4 minutes of stoppage time. Here's Colin Martin. Nick Moon sliding forward. And Martin, I think, was hampered by something, and Phoenix trying to go quickly. Harvey right back into play. Looks like it bounced off a hand, and now the referee will blow it dead.
And you could tell by the trajectory of the ball that there was a handball there, but...
And there is going to be a yellow card for Juan Guerra, and he's hoping nothing more. So both coaches have received yellow cards, and it looks like maybe more. That is going to be Danny Stone who gets a yellow card. I mean, yeah, right? Truth hurts. Well, Elijah Martin, they are basically carrying him off the field as he cannot continue on, and it will be a substitution coming here. Jackson Kazanzu will come on for the remaining. Well, there were 4 minutes of stoppage time. We maybe played less than a minute into stoppage time, so we'll see how much is continuing on. But don't forget, Phoenix Rising's White Firebird kits are on sale now at shoprisingfc.com. Make sure to go get yours today at shoprisingfc.com. There you go. It's Harvey for Erickson Gallardo. Can Phoenix win this late? Harvey again. Zambrano trying to get Uzo to the end line, and this runs out of play. Everybody was waiting in the box for Phoenix. It's not quite going to work out.
Well, that shot from distance is how they got their second goal with Cuello doing that. Zambrano could have stepped up and hit that. It looked like they were all hoping, just get it on frame, let's see if we can get something here, but didn't happen, and just trying to go into that wide space.
So we're basically through the minimum of 4. How much does Elton Garcia want this to continue on? This might be the last chance. It's Mosho Bani. Camden Riley and now Colin Martin. San Diego trying to complete the comeback. They trailed 2-0 in this game. 2 goals in 8 minutes. Got them back level. Phoenix maybe think they can go on and try to find a goal as well. Here's Fuenmayor looking for options. Somehow Conway comes away with this, but a whistle and another handball against 28 in red. And Juan Guerra can't believe it. Stoneman. And the referee has seen enough. He has ended it here in Phoenix. And the points are shared between Phoenix Rising and San Diego Loyal. Well, this had all the makings of a great rivalry in this league. And at the end of the day, Phoenix scores the first 2, San Diego scores the second 2, and that's how it ends.
It was such an interesting tempo throughout the game, a little bit more of a chess match early on, but when San Diego gets that first goal back, you know it's on, and they just kept pressing, getting into that wide space, and were able to get the equalizer.
Now, the crowd was out in numbers tonight, but at the end of the day, they cannot complete the job and get the first win of the season. They will settle for a second draw. As for San Diego Loyal, this is their first draw of the season. There is Manuel Arteaga. He is our man of the match, presented by Pacific Office Automation. And a brace for Arteaga on the night.
And he was a player that was not involved as much in the run of play, but was just so good in the penalty area, and just he needed 2 chances for 2 goals, and he just did so great in that area and was huge for Phoenix Rising. Great to get him going with those goals early on in the season.
At the end of the day, it has to feel like 2 points lost for Phoenix Rising here tonight. We'll come back and wrap things up after this. Full time from Phoenix finishes Phoenix Rising 2, San Diego Loyal 2.
Sanderson Ford gives back. They support local sports.
They support local businesses, restaurants, and music.
Y organizaciones en nuestra comunidad latina.
My favorite event is Operation Santa Claus. And mine is the Cave Creek Rodeo.
I love participating in the Guardian Games with my son Evan for Special Olympics Arizona.
Your business has allowed Sanderson Charities to give back to all these local charities. We've been paying it forward for 68 years. Thank you.
Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? How fast do you want to get there? At Gateway Community College, you can achieve a career that takes you places in less time and for less money. Opportunity is not just for the select few. Living better is for everyone. Let us help you discover your future.
1 teaspoon of potassium iodide.
Checkaroo.
And then science. Oh, I think that's Carvana. Right, let's go.
Go.
Just in the amount.
Just in the amount.
Oh, let's do more. Do more, yeah. I can do more.
All in.
Yes, please. Super easy.
Whoa.
I know. I just bought a car from Carvana.
A lot can happen in a moment.
They're delivering it here.
Like finding your perfect mix of down and monthly payments.
ABS brakes.
Finance your next car with Carvana today.
In front of a new club record attendance of 10,437, Phoenix Rising and San Diego Loyal play to another dramatic 2-2 draw. Seems like every match in this series is just back and forth. Just the second ever draw in the series. So let's look back at it, and we'll show you the goals. The 35th minute, this is when it got started. Back to front, that's how you draw it up.
This game really had everything, and this broke it wide open with that ball from Fuenmayor finding Uzo, and then Arteaga coming into that back post space. There was enough pace on that ball to beat the retreating back line, and then this is the second goal that would give the 2-0 lead. Emil Cuello getting a shot on frame, and Arteaga again getting his second goal of the game.
Right place, right time, keeping himself on side, but San Diego would have a response, and this is just great passing at the end of the day.
A lot of space for Colin Martin to face forward. Really good pace on this ball. It dives right in behind the back line. A great ball across by Bodley. Again, with pace. A lot of goals that we've seen coming from the wide areas and played across, and Nick Moon with a great finish.
You want, like chaos?
Oh, yeah.
This is chaos.
Damas does so well to spin there with Fuenmayor, and then look at all these opportunities. Camden Riley's in front. Nick Moon tries to get there. Damas says, nope, that's me, and somehow it squeaks over the inline for the equalizing goal.
And that would be the last goal of the game. Rios Nova did everything he could. At the end of the day, they could not keep it out. Look at the final stats and your final thoughts from this one as well.
Well, San Diego Loyal did have a lot of the possession, a flip from the previous game 2 weeks ago, but it started to get even in shots, 15-12, and the shots on target was really where it was even. So the 2-2 draw makes a little bit of sense.
I think it does at the end of the day. Deserved point for both teams. Phoenix, though, has to feel like a bit of a loss here tonight. But they do get a point out of this, as does San Diego Loyal, and Phoenix Rising Stadium at 38th Street in Washington officially open for business. But on this opening night, it's a point apiece. For our entire crew and broadcast partner Casey White, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long from Phoenix, where it finishes 2-2. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.